As you know, the death of George Floyd sparked protests across the country last year, including right here in the Valley.
Team 12's Adriana Loya was with organizers of those protests, calling for police reform and social justice as the verdict was read today. Adriana.
Yes, the local group of activists I was with were silent but emotional as the guilty verdicts were being read. Now, they did express some sigh of relief in the jury's decision, saying moments later this is only the beginning of much needed change in America.
This is the first and hopefully not the last, but this is one of the first times we've seen a high profile police officer go to prison. So we need to see this more often.
And I know you guys are trying to do a change here locally in Phoenix. What does that look like after this verdict here locally?
It looks like a continued push for departments such as No Cap, so we can create a buffer between the community and the police department. Changing the system, changing policy, as Percy had said, that's one of the strongest ways to preemptively save lives.
Watching this, the individual police officer may be changed, but in order for us to really have any relief in what we're asking for, our systems will need to change. Our laws and our policies will need to change. As soon as we start putting our focus on community enrichment and prevention, that's when we're finally going to see that satisfaction that I think that the rest of America was looking at us for.
You know, while we are celebrating because at the end of the day, we do feel emaciated when it comes to justice not being served, at least in our favor. There's still people who have to live on with this in perpetuity. So heart definitely goes out to George Floyd's family.
You know, my heart goes out to the victims who have not received the justice that they deserve. And I truly do hope that this can be the example that we need to see in our country.
Just because this one case has gone through, that doesn't mean that our job is done. That doesn't mean that the race is over. I want everyone to just, stay on your issues, stay on your councilman, stay on your governor, because we need to make sure that this is a permanent change.
Now, the group says from now on, change must come from policy changes. That's why here in Phoenix, they're pushing for a measure for alternatives to policing, where counselors would be called to certain situations instead of police officers. We're reporting live in Phoenix. Adriana Loya, 12 News.
Adriana.